Should K through 12 education get woke? Joining me now to discuss, Democratic strategist Max Burns and research analyst at Young Americans for Liberty, Kristin Tate. Thank you both for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so one professor, associate professor at University of California at Davis, she supports these courses. She writes this: without doubt, ethnic studies courses will allow all students to cultivate critical thinking and problem solving, civic and cultural awareness, collaboration, adaptability, and resilience through a curriculum that is centered on the perspectives of historically marginalized groups. I mean, Kristin, shouldn't they be having those kinds of conversations in classrooms?
Sure, and I mean, in theory, there's no problem with ethnic studies programs, but this particular curriculum is marred by extreme leftism, and its glossary reads like a parody of political correctness. It calls capitalism, quote, a form of power and oppression, unquote, and simply redefines terms that the left-wingers who wrote it don't like history, which it calls herstory. It also teaches about racism and Islamophobia and white supremacism, but there is no mention of anti-Semitism in spite of the fact that more Jewish people live in the state of California than nearly any other place in the world, and hate crimes against them are on the rise. But the bigger picture here, Shannon, is that history in our public schools isn't just poorly taught, it has become irresponsibly politicized. And, you know, these academics, they want to cover up our history and rewrite it. And yes, as a nation, we have done some terrible things in our past, but our students need to learn about our full history, warts and all, and then be able to make their own conclusions. Because our society is going to pay a deep price if we are pumping out a generation of students who think that capitalism is evil and that we are a nation of oppressors.
Well, and listen, the people behind this say, yeah, this is just a draft. We hear your concerns. We're going to take another pass at this. They invited people to make comments, and one of the ones that came in apparently on the website for the Department of Education there in California came from a Berkeley resident who said, this entire curriculum reads as an extreme political agenda being presented under cover of an ethnic studies program at a time when many of us are concerned about the divisive right-wing bigotry we hear from Donald Trump. This curriculum exposes our children to the equally divisive bigotry of the extreme left. Max, where do you think they go from here?
I think before everybody panics, we need to reiterate the fact that, one, this is a draft, that this debate process is going to go on through 2020. Over 5,000 people have submitted comments, and there are going to be some pretty significant rewrites. And two, this is not a mandatory curriculum. Districts can take from it if they want. They can take parts of it. They can reject parts of it. But I agree that there's nothing wrong with understanding the full scope of our history. It makes good citizens. The fear we have about discussing things like police brutality and racism and white supremacy, it doesn't make us stronger to not discuss those things.
Okay, I want to get you both to weigh in a little bit, if you can, on the news we got out of the Ninth Circuit a short time ago that it's not going to intervene in this case. Planned Parenthood had. The new rule from the Trump administration with Title X family planning money, federal dollars, is that you can't get it if your clinic performs abortions or refers for abortions. Planned Parenthood asked the Ninth Circuit to intervene, block this rule. If not, they said by Monday they would have to withdraw from the program because they say they're not going to give up abortions in exchange for the funding. Here's the reaction tonight from the acting Planned Parenthood president. Says, we refuse to cower to this president. We are considering all of our options. The Trump administration is recklessly putting birth control and reproductive health care for millions of people at risk. Don't have a ton of time, but I'd like you both to weigh in. Kristin, we'll start with you.
Well, this is a big win for the Trump administration, and to be clear, this is not about outlawing abortion. This is about disentangling taxpayer dollars from abortion services. And we all know that Planned Parenthood has no plans of stopping abortion anytime soon. They call themselves a women's health organization, but the number of non-abortion services they provide is on the decline. Okay. They provide about 300,000 abortions per year.
Okay, quick comment from you, Max.
Listen, I think the fact is you can't outlaw abortion under the Constitution, so they're going to backdoor ban it by just raising the costs of services. In some states like Missouri, this is going to be a complete wipeout of services that provide abortion at all. And I don't imagine many women in Missouri voted for Hillary Clinton, so this may actually come back and bite the Republican Party.
Well, the legal fight's far from over. We'll watch it. Max and Kristin, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Shannon.